Whoa. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is 1 minute before I'm supposed to go live, but as I understand it, to get the stream going and to be reliable, you need to get up early. Just to get the data rolling. Hey. Anyway, it's August 1st, 2024. Oh my God, what the hell happened? How are we here? How are we here? Anyway, I know I'm a little bit early, so I'm just going to hang tight until people start showing up, and you have to listen to me babble. I have a 65 Empire here. It's the one I played a few weeks ago, only we've modified it. I'm going to have to repeat all this when people show up. So if you're watching the recording, I apologize in advance. That's the full-on Channel 3, which, as you remember, was different sounding before. There's Channel 2. And remember, this amp is 6v6s. It is not EL34s. When we first brought this amp to NAMM, I had to just take the back off of it because people kept saying, I don't believe it's not EL34s. And so I just had to show them. Channel 1. And the bump is not on right now. A little bright. Let's take that down a little bit. So channel 1 is, it's kind of a Fender circuit, believe it or not. But it's what we're trying to do. Hi, Knut. How are you, bud? Good evening over there in Norway. You're the second Norwegian I've talked to today. And today I have my Elliott Strat that Andy made for me with a Ron Ellis humbucker. Actually, it's all Ron's pickups in here now. And I think this guitar, if I remember correctly, was about 11 years old. And man, this thing did not hear the amp. You haven't heard it? You can't hear it? It's showing up here on the meter. Not hearing the amp. Well, that's weird. It's all coming through here on my interface. God damn it. Right on. Well, let's go look here and see what's going on. If there's anything in settings. Son of a gun. Let's see. Come on, move the window. I got the camera in the way. There's nothing crazy going on here. Well, it's always something, isn't it? I'll be damned. Maybe I'll have to stop and start again, which is a big pain in the butt because I have this set up for 4 different things. Hi, Ross Fletcher. How are you, buddy? I guess I'm having some technical issues. I can hear my guitar beautifully and hear it coming out of my interface. And the meter's kicking on the computer. But apparently it's not coming through. Oh, I see. Hold on a second. How about now? Is that better? Thank you. There was a setup error. It's not my fault. And I even cussed. What the fuck? Anyway, so this is a Empire. Matt Pierce says sound. Hi, Matt. Sorry about that. That's going to come off really good on the recording, too, I think. So this is a 65 Empire that's technically brand new. It was one of the chassis left over when we ended our licensing deal a few years back. Voice volume dropped now. It says, well, I can fix that. How about that? Does that sound better? I know it distorts sometimes, so I got to be careful because I tend to have a big yelly voice. So I played it on the show a few weeks ago, and it was before I got here to StreamYard, and got the sound sorted out, even though I messed it up today. But we modified it last night. I think all three channels are better. So this is channel 1, which is the cleanish channel. That is, it's kind of a Fender circuit. Excuse me. Is my voice okay now, Canute? Can you hear me? It's kind of a Fender circuit, which is what the original Marshalls were. The JTM 45 is just a Fender Bassman. Only people are not being honest when they say that. Well, it's exactly the same as a Fender Bassman. Well, except for the tubes and except for the capacitors and except for the transformers. All things that really make a difference in how an amp sounds. So the circuit on paper is the same, but the sound of the amp's very different. So this is kind of that on channel 1, channel 2. The bump is off right now, so the amp's kind of running, cold. This channel 2, which is more towards late 60s, early 70s. If I take the bump on or turn the bump on, and the volume's on 5 for that channel. I'm not really pushing it very hard. That's with the bump on. And then the biggest change that we made was channel 3. If you guys remember, channel 3 we were never completely wild about it. We just had to get the amp out, right? And the amp show and all that stuff. So we spent some time on channel 3. Again, that's volume's only on 5. So you got a lot more there. You can go way dirtier if you want. A bit distorty in my headphones. I think that this might be the digital side of things. Anyway, channel 2. That's with the bump on. If I turn the bump off, it gets a lot more tame, Hey, Brian Swires, nice to see you, man. How you been? He's the Robert Palmer. Hoss, you're funny. Nice to see you. Thanks, Brian. Yeah, we're got about 15 or 20 amps to sell. Hi, Chad Boston. How are you, buddy? Good to see you. Chad Boston is the guy that runs the Helix user group on Facebook, and you have how many users? How many people signed up there? A couple 100,000. Shows you how big the digital world is, right? It's really cool. That's with the bump off. I can turn a little treble down there. This is Hum Single Single. 44,000 people on the Helix user group on Facebook. That's really cool. Chad's a very nice guy. If you don't know Chad, drop by there and say hello if you're a Helix guy. Chad is the dude to know. He knows every trick in the book there is about Helix. I don't think anyone knows it better. He also makes alternative knobs for it for guys that are over 29 and might need to see things better. They work great and they light up. It's really cool. It's all good. Lars Steinset says, what is the mod you have done on this amp? Well, to be honest with you, let me confess, we stole some of it from Jose Arredondo. So it adds a ton of frequency response to the channel, which then stresses the tube a little more. And it goes across all three channels. So you get more treble, more bass, more mid-range. We're asking the tube to do more work. So instead of just adding gain, which is, it works, people do that and people like it, we're just asking the tube to lift more weight. To my ears and to my fingers, that feels and sounds better. Feels more natural. If I add a whole bunch of gain, it just starts sounding like I'm using a pedal. And there are a lot of amps that do that, and they do it really well. Hey, Randy Kreth, how are you, buddy? So that's a neck pickup Strat. For you guys just jumping in, this is my Elliott Stratocaster that he made me about 11 years ago. I made this guitar. Hey, Ben Fulton. Hey, what's happening in New Zealand? Thanks for dropping by, man. So it's a great guitar. We made this guitar mainly for the whiskey, which was 2012, I think, 2013. I wanted a hum single single like I used to play in the 80s. And I had a 63 or 62 Strat that looked a lot like this. Only it was all beat to hell, and Andy's guitars are so nice he refused to relic it, which is fine. Totally fine. This guitar is so well made. Oh my God. If you're not familiar with Andy Elliott's guitars, go do it. I can still hear the attack of each note, and that's important, says Hoss Thompson. There's a whole lot of amps that make your guitar sound like an overdriven flute. Yeah, exactly. I still want to hear everything. I mean, to me, that sounds like a 6900 watt. I say I could turn the volume up a little more and we get a little more out of it, but then you just go to channel 3, right? So there's a lot of bass in there, arguably maybe too much. We're still working on it. It was a great mod, sounded great to a live speaker cabinet. When are you going to pull out your Jackson Flying V and use that, says Brian Mendes. To quote a famous music movie, when monkeys fly out of my butt. Yeah, that's vulgar, Dan, just tacky. A Jackson Flying V. You know what's funny is I know Grover Jackson really well. He doesn't make guitars like that at all anymore. But yeah, no, Randy Rhoads and those guys, amazing players. I could never do that if you held a gun to my head. I just don't hear that kind of playing in my head. I'm just a plain old rock and roller. Ben Fulton says he has one, and I can borrow it if I'm careful. Thumbs up, says Hoss Thompson. Yeah, are you doing Ozzy tribute now? Ben Fulton, if you guys don't know, Ben Fulton is the owner of Red Witch Pedals. Red Witch has been around, I think, for about 20 years and still making killer products. Ben is a super gentleman, super nice guy. If you ever think about like doing business with people you like, Ben Fulton's one of them. He is a total brother. We're glad to have you here, Ben. Tell us, we could do a split screen in the future if you want, Ben, from New Zealand. And you can tell us what's going on with Red Witch. I have a bunch of Red Witch pedals. They're all really fun. He's got a really good ear. Yeah, I like that sound. That's a neck pickup Strat, right? You're welcome, Ben. It's easy to tell the truth. How touch sensitive it is. For what it's worth, Randy Kress says, Dan is not only funny and a decent guitar player, he's gone through all kinds of trouble to sell me a Ventura. He's the real deal. Oh, well, gee, Randy, thank you, buddy. He's the real deal, and I'm thankful to have a chance to work with him. Well, likewise. I don't know if you guys know Randy Kress. We're just a love fest today here. We're all just playing grabby. Randy's great. Randy is a reverend, a minister, but he is the rock and roll reverend. He is the guy who's not uptight. He's the guy who's not crazy. He's the guy who does it correctly. And I'm not going to get into a religious rant at all because I don't think it's my place to do that. But he's got a website and a Facebook persona that's really great. And you should have a look at it. He's also a hell of a songwriter and singer and guitar player. We've been doing business for a long time, haven't we, Randy? Like 15 years? Wrong key, isn't it? Let's go down to channel 1. Do a little more of that. That's with the bump off. Let me turn the bump on, channel 1. And my wife likes you too. Well, I like your wife a lot. She's really nice. Nice overtones, nice harmonics. As Hoss Thompson said earlier, you can hear all the notes. Because she said so. I'm in love with her, and I feel fine. Yeah, man. It's been about 10 years. You and Mike fixed my little Elvis after our house fire. I know, that was horrible. Was that 10 years ago already? Wow. Time moves, huh? Hard to do with a humbucker, but I can do it. I'm just on channel 1, so I'm playing. Fire was 4 years ago. Okay, yeah. Right. Is this mod easy to do so I can do it on my own Empire as a mod kit? Yeah. Thanks, Chad. Chad says that amp sounds tasty, man. Thank you. I like the Empire. So for those of you that don't remember, the Empire is a pair of 6v6s. It's not EL34s. As I was saying earlier, when I used to take this to the NAMM show, I would just leave the back off of it because I got tired of taking it off because by the end of the first day, 10 people had said, I don't believe you, man. Those are not 6v6s. Well, sure. It's only 22 watt amp and it has the master voltage. I know there's a little compression on the web feed, so it doesn't really go down in volume that much, but that's at half power, right? Turn it all the way up. So that's just channel 1 with the bump on. That is the lowest gain channel. I can turn the volume down. I can play a little softer and get a really nice, you know. More louder or more better. Yeah, I'm with you, man. It's good overtones and harmonics, isn't it? Didn't really warm up today, sorry. So if I take the bump off, and if I had reverb and echo on here, man, it would just be all lovey-dovey. Not bad, huh? Lots of range, lots of range. I'm gonna go from that, just hit channel 3. That's with the bump off. I turn the bump on, it gets a little hairy. Whoops. I think of that more as a lead channel. I mean, you could play rhythm with it. Kind of, to me, sounds like... remember Montrose's first record? That sound. Even Channel 2 will do that pretty good. Do you guys know Montrose's first record? Sammy Hagar singing. I think he's 19 years old. It's a good sound. I like this. Great rhythm, rock and roll rhythm sound. To me, it sounds correct. When people think of old Marshalls, I can say the word now, Marshall. Rock Candy, man. You know that song, Haas? If I go to channel 3, I think it's more like it. I'm not going to do the pick scratch. That was the first record I ever sat down and like tried to learn the songs. Hard, Sweet, and Sticky. Yeah, you guys know it. You guys have good taste. I knew this was a stylish, elegant crowd. And you go to a lot of guitar sites, and all people want to talk about is Justin Bieber. It's like, what the hell? You know. Oh, yeah, did you see the new Miranda Lambert record? Okay. It's all right, candy, baby. Sloppy, isn't it? Yeah, that's pretty good. Let me crank up channel 2 a little bit more and see if we can get how that sounds. With the bump on, right? So, yeah. If I turn it all the way up, right? Yeah, maybe 10's too much. Let's go to 8. Yeah. Oh, what you got going on here, Haas? Of course, my main Les Paul is a collector's choice based on Ronnie Montrose's 58. Yeah, you got good taste, man. Yeah, I think I got a guitar when I was 12. In the summer between 6th and 7th grade. And I had a neighbor that I knew played guitar and had like a big Ampeg V4 or something. He used to play in his garage and just blow his brains out. And I went over there. I think, I was 12. He might have been 15 at the time, which to me was an adult, right? He was a man of the world. And I said, hey, man, like, I'm trying to learn how to play guitar. Can I bring my stuff over and you could show me some things and we could hang out? And to my surprise, he said yes. And I'm totally blanking on his name right now. I could walk you to his house in my hometown. Shades of Schoenberg, as I call it. Oh, gotcha. I like that. Anyway, he goes, well, here you go, man. Montrose. You ever heard it? I went, nope. I'm 12 years old. I'm a little boy. And he put on Rock Candy. Boom, boom, ka, ka, boom, boom, ka, boom. And I heard that guitar kick in and went, holy shit. What is that? It's Ronnie Montrose, dude. Stuff rocks. I'm like, more, please. And I think he tried to show me that first lick, and I still play it the way he taught me. It's too distorted, isn't it? Let's go to channel 3, but turn the gain down a little bit. Yeah. There's one of those things. I'm not going to do that to you guys. Yeah, it works. So this is basically a little amp that does all that stuff. Mike and I modded it. So anyway, back to your question, Lars. Yeah, do you know how to solder safely without getting yourself shocked? Yeah, that's right. Leslie West, Mississippi Queen. Right? Same thing, isn't it? Mississippi Queen. Yeah, this amp sounds great with the Junior. I had to sell my Junior during the recession to keep things going. So, and I can get it back. I just need to make a little money. So we are selling this amp at a really good price. I can't say it on the air because the algorithm on all these social media sites picks up that I'm selling something. And then they want to charge tax. So let's not talk about that. But we are selling this amp at a good price. In today's market, since we started making stuff at our North Hollywood shop, which was the end of 2012 before we did our license deal, right? This amp, I think we sold it for $3,000, $29.95. We couldn't do that today. The cost of making amps has gone up almost double. COVID, especially, how everyone said, hey, it's inflation, we can raise all of our prices. And it never went back down. These people still charge a fortune. So to make this amp right now, we probably have to retail it around $4,500, which is crazy, right? So Lars, if you can solder safely, I can tell you what it is offline. You're too far away. Otherwise, I say just send it in and let me do it. Because I don't like to encourage people to solder on their own amp. With all good intentions, people make a lot of mistakes. And they know what they're doing. They know how to solder. But they're soldering on something that they've worked on for the first time. And that can cause a problem. So I see people trying to connect here. Technically, I can just drag you up onto the screen. We can do a split screen. But the device is not connected. There's Empire Kevin and Doug C. Haas Thompson says, you use proper Allen Bradley carbon comps too, and they're running out and so going up in price. Yeah, I've still got a bunch left. I'm going to save those. If Mike and I get back into doing some production stuff, I'm going to save those for special editions and upgrades that we can charge for. They are disappearing. I still have a lot. I can make that work. They do make a difference. They do sound different. To a lot of other people, they may not care. I think you got to be an old dude or have older ears like you do. You're really tuned into vintage stuff. They do have the sweetest top end. Yeah, that's right. But I have ways I can massage the top end and make it work. But yeah, this is Allen Bradley carbon comps. So yeah, if I were to make this amp today, minimum retail would be $4,500. So I'm happy to sell it to you for half that. Got that sound. That's only on channel 2. Ben Fulton's got to go. Oh, man. Says, so good to see your excellent face. Amp sounds incredible. Let's catch up soon. We moved Red Witch into a deconsecrated church. Oh, from 1923. Split screen sometime would be great. Yeah, let's do it. Let's talk offline. It's very easy to do. You just get going. You can connect here on the back end of my StreamYard. You have to come through StreamYard to do it. Not through, it looks like you are on Facebook. So if you go to the StreamYard link, which I can send to you. Oh yeah. Good comments coming here. Sorry. We'll do it. I'd love to catch up, and I'm sure everybody would like to know what's going on with Red Witch. But anyway, love to you and everyone in New Zealand. Rob Price says, Rhombus Zero says, give me a whiskey and put it on my tab. Okay. They're expensive. I'll need a credit card to hold the tab, please. Rob Price says, I still have my Empire, but due to its rarity, I use a Friedman Dirty Shirley Mini when I play out. That's also a great amp. It's also a great amp. Easier to carry around, too. This thing's kind of heavy. It's got some iron in it. It's got some serious transformers in it. which is why this little bitty amp. Chad, absolutely. You can join the stream. We can talk about all your Helix stuff, and your guitar toolkit that I've seen you posting about looks great. Like really nice. Chad, tell me if I'm wrong. I think you either have a 3D printer or you work with someone who has a really nice 3D printer, and you design really cool guitar tools. Excuse me. They look excellent on your posts. I covet them. I have a couple of bags of guitar tools here and fret tools, and I can polish frets and work on everything and solder and all that kind of stuff. But I don't have those cool looking tools that you make. I wish I could get the amp more on camera so you could see which channel I'm on. I just can't. My cables don't go that far. Let's see if I can turn the camera a little bit. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. So, so you can see no lights on there. That's channel 1. That's this channel right here. Right? Red light is channel 2. The bump is on, which is right here. I'll turn that off. We go to blue light, means channel 3. See it there? That light's actually red. It's coming off as pink on the live stream, but it's red. Trust me, it is seriously red. As you can see, I don't have channel 3 up very loud. It's got a lot of gain. Ross Thompson says, yeah, Dolly Dagger. Man, if I could remember how to play that. I'd have to hear it once. If I heard it once, I go, oh yeah. Because I don't think I've actually played Dolly Dagger in 20 odd years. That's Freedom, which would work on this, right? I'll go back to channel 2 probably. Yeah, get the idea. Man, I got to go back into Hendrix world. I used to spend so much time learning Hendrix songs, and I mean, literally, it's been 20 years since I paid attention. I mean, I listened to Hendrix, but since I sat down and went, how does he do that? That, you know. It's hard to do with a humble single. Let me just tell you something. And take this in the nicest way possible. I mean, no disrespect to anyone. Take my word for it. I'm telling you in all sincerity. I get so bored out of my mind watching dudes wank on the internet with their guitar. Like, I get it. You can play your ass off. It's fine. Those licks would sound good going through any gear with any guitar because your hands are awesome. You are awesome. And I love the fact that you can play guitar that well. However, it bores me to tears. I hate to say it. Maybe it's just an age thing. It's like I went to GIT in 1986 and 1987, which was kind of the pinnacle of wanking on a guitar. You know, it was all the two-handed stuff, and everybody was just trying to play as fast as they possibly could. I used to play a lot faster in 1986 than I do now, because at school, especially, I was playing guitar 10 to 12 hours a day. But, so I intentionally on this show, I'm trying to keep it human. You know, my hands are not warmed up. I'm starting to feel a little blood coming through them. Not much. And I don't play guitar that well anymore. I'm almost 60 years old. My hands, well, I'll show you. That's my fingers being straight. things happen when you use your joints all the time. I started playing piano when I was 4. A lot of finger work, right? And I love to play, like, some of you guys have seen it. I think videos of me playing, like, I love to play boogie woogie piano. And that's hard on your hands. I still play boogie woogie piano. I love it. And it's really hard on your hands. And then I started playing guitar in 1976 or 77. Lots of work on the hands. And then I played in bands. And then when I was 20, I went to GIT. I'm a secret handmaid. That's right, Hoss. I did not know Patrick, Rob Price. Sorry. I was there 86, 87. And then from there, I went out to make a living playing guitar, which I did for a long time. And it's a different thing when you put groceries on the table with your guitar. Like, I paid my rent with my guitar. It wasn't something I just did on Sunday. So after all that, my hands are kind of fried. I'm still playing 10s. Everyone I know, I used to play 11s until I got to be about 40. And then everyone I know my age or older has gone down to 9s. Everybody. I mean, all the big rock stars you can think of. Some of them even play 8s just to make it easy on their hands. Your joints get loose. They get sore. They start to swell up. It sucks. But I would not trade a lifetime of guitar playing for it. So anyway, I just wanted to go off that tangent because if you're waiting for me to sit around and just start wanking, it's not going to happen. I can get people on here to do that for you. I'm an okay lead player. I consider myself a above average rhythm player. I actually enjoy playing rhythm more than playing leads. I love to sit around and go, I love that. But channel 1 there, you see no lights on the amp. That's channel 1. So anyway, that's my little speech for the day. And also, a lot of the web shows that I see, we're going to do way more than this. This is just me in my office chatting because I want to get things back up and running. I think he was there in 1987, Rob. Could be. I don't remember the name. Was he 87, 88? I was 86, 87. So we would have overlapped for 6 months. But anyway, I don't see a lot of web content created for adults. I see a lot of stuff created. Hey man, what are we going to do? Yeah, today we're going to do this. We're going to do that. How am I going to sell you a used car today? Come on now. What's it going to take to get you in a car today? Come on, let's go. This pedal's the best fucking thing I've ever heard in my life. Is it? Pardon me if I'm skeptical. Maybe I've been around the block too many times. Hoss Thompson says, you tend to play things on the amp that folks actually play. Thank you. That's my goal. There's pretty much zero call for fret wanking in the world. Yeah, I agree. When I was a kid, I graduated from high school in 83. And at that point, Van Halen's first record had been out for 5 years already. And it wasn't long after that David Lee Roth made the best decision ever to go out on his own. And then Randy Krath. Hey, Arne's here. Arne Haast. And Christiansson to Norway. What's happening, buddy? Good to see you. Randy says, I'm 68 and still use 11s. Oh, my God. Yeah, 11s sound great. Nothing beats 11s. I played them I think I started playing 11s when I was like 19 or 20 because I hit the guitar really hard. So if I played 11s, the strings didn't go sharp when I hit them. And then I noticed, wow, these sound good. And they sustain. And you can't bend as much with them. I mean, you can still bend them, but you can't really have, ow. I tried to straighten my fingers there, and all my joints went, So again, that's channel 1. I know we're talking about fingers and strings and stuff. Aging sucks. if you're not older yet, it's going to happen to you. Listening to older guys complain about it is definitely boring. I apologize. But I'm just telling you, like, so where my hands are now. I've been playing guitar. This is 2024, right? So 47 years? Channel 2, same riff. The mod sounds good, doesn't it? And then channel 3. Let me turn channel 3 up a little bit. Hoss Thompson, if you guys know 13 Stars in the north of England, great band, really fun rock and roll band. Not a rock band, but a rock and roll band. And we've talked about that ad nauseum, but I'm happy to go over it. Sounds awesome. Thank you, Paul. At what age did you qualify for the guitar playing badge from the Scouts? 13. Because I learned how to play. Yeah, no, I got, and that doesn't sound bad. I'm digging it. This is the first time I've really had to spend a lot of time with it. Mike and I did the mod last night, and I played it for literally like 5 minutes, and he had some guests coming over to his shop, so I had to bug out. But I plugged in and played for about 10 minutes before we started the show. I could try other guitars if you want to hear a Strat or something. That's why I chose this one for the humbucker and then the Strat sounds. So if you guys remember, or those of you that own the Empire, Channel 3 was a little bit wild. And it sounded really good for like single string solo stuff. Like you could just use it for a solo, which was the original purpose. And it all made sense 15 years ago or whenever we did it. Now I'm kind of digging it. Just we rolled some treble off of it. And then this mod that we did covers all 3 channels. It adds frequency response to all 3 channels. There was a treble bleeder cap on channel 3. We took it off. I think it's way more functional now. I think channel 3 is way more usable now. So I would never play rhythm on it before. I would just do solos, but that's pretty good. It's enough gain that you still sound like you're playing guitar. It's not like amps for guys that suck. You know, so much gain that freaking kazoo is going to sound exactly like a 59 Les Paul. So this is a low output pickup. You guys know I like low output pickups, right? So I think that Ron made me this humbucker. If I remember correctly, it's a little hotter than the ones that are in my Les Paul. I think it's 7.2K. Thingamajig here. Great pickup. One either use channel 1 or 2 with the Empire. Yeah, that was kind of the thing. You use channel 3 for single string solo things. I like it. I think the mod will stick. We've got a couple of these Empires, actually. I think we've got 2 or 3 of them, so. And if you want us to do the mod to your Empire, we will do it for a reasonable fee. You just got to pay shipping. And just ship me the chassis. You don't have to ship the whole cabinet. Take the chassis out and ship it. It'll cost you half as much as shipping the entire amp. But yeah, we can do the mod for like $100. and plus shipping. And it's worth it, I think. Yeah, I like it. I think I'll take it. Lars Steinset says, yeah, but we need the technically high-speed players in the music as well. Yeah, no, it's great. If you love it, I'm not dissing it at all. Would all the classical music be without them? Right, yeah, I know. I'm just saying me personally. As a middle-aged man who's knocking on heaven's door, it doesn't appeal to me anymore. Especially since I was playing on the Sunset Strip in the 80s. And man, it was all just wank, 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 wank. And it's like having cake for dinner every night. After a while, it's just not cake anymore. It's just some shit you got to eat, right? And I'm long past going, wow, that dude's fast, man. That's amazing. And it's fine if anyone likes it. I'm not putting anyone down. I don't mean, and I tried to, I hope I was clear about it. Take my word for it. I mean, zero disrespect. I'm just trying to do an alternative. And, you know, we can have wankers on here. I don't do it anymore. Hoss Thompson, yeah, man, you and I think alike, dude. We need to get together for a pint. If I'm going to watch a self-indulgent widdly woos, then I need some of that brown acid or the real bad rape licorice. Oh my God. Yeah. You know what? It's fine if you like it. Everybody can like whatever they want. I mean, I really don't care. I don't have. Marcus Derby, how are you, buddy? That channel 3 rolled back to like 6. And the bump is off. Nice to see you too, man. Yeah, that's too much. Let's go to channel 2. Even that's too much. Lars says, hey, I'm pushing the age of 62. Good for you, man. I hope you're still healthy and feeling good. Turn the bump on for the clean sound. Yeah, I think if I had a rosewood neck too, it might sound a little better. Hoss Thompson says, I don't know, in classical music, it's all about emotion and melody. There's Paganini. Sure, that needs to be frenetic and up-tempo sometimes, but for my money, the most emotive stuff is in the mid to low-tempo stuff. Yeah, me too. That's what tends, you know, you guys might have experienced it for people that are close to my age. There was, Randy Kress says, I'm just working on letting the songs out of my head. And, hey, nice. Amps, guitars, keys, recording world I live in. It keeps me sane and allows me to do the caring for others, which I enjoy. God bless you. Yeah, I hear you. So you guys might have experienced this. I experienced it big time when I went to GIT. There was a pressure in the 80s to go, you know. To do all that nonsense. So when I went to GIT, I took all those classes. We had single string class with Dan Gilbert. Bob Barris, hey, for me anymore, it's about the space between the notes. Yeah, I agree. When a note sounds good, it makes you want to hold it. Yeah, that's right. I mean, there's no right or wrong. I'm not saying I'm right and anybody's wrong. I'm just telling you my personal preference, humble personal preference. But anyway, I felt this pressure in the 80s when I was a guy to play fast as hell. And to be honest with you, I just don't hear that. That's not what I look for in music. That's not what I've enjoyed in music. It's just me personally. Doesn't mean I'm right. It doesn't mean you're wrong or anything. It just means I'm just telling you that's what I like. It's more like, hot mustard versus sweet mustard. I like horseradish mustard. I'm salivating talking about it. But anyway, so I felt all this pressure to play really fast, and I sat around running scales at GIT forever. And I got really good. I sat around just doing that nonsense all the time. What was the one? Hey, Scott Patton. Anyway, you get my point. Scott Patton, one of my favorite customers from Sugarland and a bunch of other artists, popping in to see what's new. Speaking as someone who received some PT on my left hand today. Oh man, I hope you're okay. I can say that there are some solutions out there to keep you mealy along. Also switched to 9.5 for a few guitars. I am still youngish, right? Oh yeah, you're a lot younger than me. Still hoping to receive the prototype faceplate from my Elvis. Same address, please send. Love you, Dan. We'll have to talk to Mike about that. Mike can get that made for you now. Yeah. We are late on that, aren't we? Like 15 years late, something like that. Well, Elvis came out in 2010, so yeah, we're late. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. Hello from Norway. Hi, Paul. Haas Thompson says, I love the crazy scales throughout the ride of Valkyrie. Yeah, Flight of the Valkyrie. But it's the horn part that I think of and a whistle. Yeah. Yeah, it's so subjective. And like I say, there's no right or wrong. I'm not trying to preach. I'm not trying to pontificate. I'm not trying to ding anybody. I just, that's where I am. Anyway, Scott, so Mike and I are putting together a bunch of amps and we're selling them. This is an Empire that's been modified. And I like the mod. So just to give you an idea... Got a little more of a modern tone to it. Oh, Duke, you got COVID. Oh, it's going around California so much right now. I hope you're feeling okay, man. We're happy to keep you company. I'm actually going to sign off here in a few minutes, but shit, I'm sorry, Duke. Man, that's no fun. Oh, love. Miss you, Scott. I hope you're well, man. I miss you. I miss talking to you. I had some really great customers when we were rolling. Scott Patton was at the top of the list. Always fun to see, always a gentleman, a serious gentleman, and a great guitar player. A real musician. I've been watching the whole time. Oh, cool, Duke. Man, I'm sorry you're under the weather, buddy. I hope it goes away fast. Do you have a bad one? I have some neighbors that have been getting it, and it's bad. This is a bad version of it right now. It's going around, and it's spreading like wildfire. Is it possible to order a set of original tubes for my Monterey? Yeah, Paul. We're not really selling tubes right now, but I can tell you what to get. Happy to help you with it. It's JJ power tubes are really the key to all these amps. Unless your preamp tubes are visibly bad or noticeably bad, I would start with just getting a matched pair of JJ 6v6s and take it from there. If that doesn't do... Hi, Ross. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm on StreamYard. I see you on YouTube there. I don't know how to share everyone's comments on all the platforms. because I'm broadcasting on 2 different pages on Facebook now, on YouTube and something else, Instagram, I think. You're not doing anything wrong, Ross. I'll work on it. Let me see if there's anything here in the settings while we're let's see. I don't see anything here where I can adjust the comments. Guests can stream this to their own destinations, play a sound when a guest enters. Guests must authenticate. Yeah, I have a lot of options here. I'm on the free trial for StreamYard right now. I'm on the fence. Looks like we have to pay for comments. No, I don't think so. No, there's there's no M&Ms here, Hoss. Hi, Doug Robert. How are you, buddy? You don't think you have to pay for comments, Arnie? You're making comments, right? They're free. Put the guitar around the neck of a man and he delivers 16 notes per second and he is a banker or whatever. Put a violin in the hands of another person who delivers 25 notes a second and this person will be a genius. Yeah, I mean, trust me, I like some guys that are shredders. I enjoy it. I don't know. I just kind of listened to it enough when I was a kid. I sound like a curmudgeon, don't I? I'm really sorry. I don't mean that. A can of maize. It says send 200 stars to see comments. What? Oh. Facebook is doing some shit. Do stars cost money? I didn't know that was happening. That blows. Well, I'm trying to actually just migrate over to YouTube. Well, that's part of it, Duke, who says there's too many shredders and not enough songwriters. I think it's a matter of supply and demand, to be honest with you. It's not special when everyone does it. It was very special when I first heard, like before the Van Halen record came out, the first one. You're on Facebook, Doug, so you're seeing the Facebook comments. That guy was asking from YouTube. We're going to sort this out over time. But when that first, Andy Wilhelmy's here. That's my brother. That's my cousin. One of my favorite cousins, who's also very funny, as you can see. But when that first Van Halen record came out in 1978, I had been exposed to Jeff Beck, who I thought was, what is that guy doing? And, Richie from Deep Purple. There weren't a lot of wholesale shredders around, there were some prog guys that were kind of ripping like that. But I can't say that comment on the show. But yes, I get it. If you put your strap on the guitar, it works. So when that Van Halen record came out, it was really special. I mean, it was like, holy crap, what is this guy doing? And there was no internet then. I mean, we all sat around going, I don't know. Is it a bunch of echoes? Is these violins mixed in with the guitar? We had no idea what was going on until his interview in Guitar Player came out, and they literally had pictures of him going like this, right? And then we went, oh, that's different. But then everyone started doing that. And, it's like, did you guys ever see that movie Pet Sematary by Stephen King, where the guy's cat died, but they cloned the cat, only it just wasn't as good as the first cat. Matter of fact, it was kind of mean. That was kind of the way it felt in the 80s, watching everybody imitate. There's a few guys that pulled it off really well. George Lynch, I loved. Warren DeMartini from Rat, I thought did a real... I'm not a big fan of those songs, but I liked his guitar playing. Oh, it's 200 stars to pin a comment. Yeah, you don't have to pin a comment. That just keeps it up there so everybody can see it. $1, you can do that for your ego. But you can send me stars. It'd be nice. But anyway, there were guys who did a pretty good job, and there's a bunch of others. You can name some guys. I like Steve Vai. I love Joe Satriani in like 1987. But then at that point, it had been, Randy Rhoads. That's right. Randy was great. But by 1987, we're talking about almost a decade of this stuff, right? First Van Halen record came out, and I think it was 78. It might have been 77. Somebody want to look that up on the old googly woogly? I for some reason, I remember it being 78 because I was in 8th grade. So when I was in 8th grade, it was 78, 79. And I remember in 8th grade, I played that record so much I had to get another copy because I spread the grooves on the record. And I thought my stereo was messing up. And my dad, who understands record players really well, said, put on another record. Let's see what it does. Put on another record. It played perfect. He goes, yeah, you spread the grooves on this record. You played it so much. I sat down with my headphones listening to that record for year and a half. I never could do it though. I never even wanted to. I mean, I wanted to play the rhythm parts, Let's get a better sound than that. I love that sound. Those records are great. And I never cared about the leads. I love the rhythm parts on that, I used to be able to play it better than that. But good harmonics. But of course, the first one we heard, was... So, anyway, by the late 80s, I think, honestly, in my opinion, that's why everything just jumped to Seattle and people turned hard left. By the late 80s, the Georgia Satellites were happening and the Black Crowes, who are friends of mine. And it was just to get away because we were just saturated with guys going... And it's neat, but it's kind of like watching guys lift weights or something. You go, wow, great. That's amazing. So Bill Strange, hey man, welcome back. How you been? Thank God for grunge. Yeah, I liked grunge. I remember, I always tell the story. To me, that was sort of the end of modern rock music. Everything after that's been derivative of something before, right? And, that was the last original style of rock music that I remember. And I remember I moved back from England in 1992. And I don't remember when that record came out. It might have been out in the United States for a while, but I never heard it in England. I was living in London. And first thing I did when I got back is I went to a house party in Atlanta where I used to live. That's where I lived when I moved to England. And my buddy Peter Stroud, who you guys know, and some other dudes... really fun people. I don't know if I should say their name or not. Oh man, Bill, I'm sorry about Hurricane Beryl. Hope you're okay. But anyway, I went to a house party. We might have been committing some sins. Like, forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. Might have been breaking some laws. I'm just going to be straight with you. I might have broken some laws. Anyway, we're walking through the party and we're talking. I remember I was talking to somebody, and And, it was the early 90s. We did things that made us very talkative. If you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I'm walking to the party, and I was like, hey, man, hold on a second. And I stuck my head in the door and went, hey, what is that record? And it was Nevermind. Running with Scissors Party. I was drinking milk after expiration date. We would eat a sandwich and then jump right in the pool. We wouldn't wait. But anyway, I asked the guy, like, what is this record? And he go, oh, it's this band out of Seattle. And the record was Nevermind. And I know that's their second record, but that was the first I'd heard of it. And I was like, hey, man, I love talking to you, but I need to hear this. And I sat in that room, I think, for 2 hours. And we played that record over and over again. The good songs, the stuff, check this one out, like putting the needle on the track, that kind of thing. And that was the last time I remember my head being turned by a new rock album. So I think that was 92, right? It's Hand Tremolo. So anyway, so for people my age, please be forgiving. I think people got to sign off now. It's been an hour and 10 minutes already. People got to get back to work. They have a life. But for people my age, I got sick of hearing that stuff. Ross Fletcher, the first time I heard the entire first album was at a party. They played it both sides 3 times in a row. Yeah, that's kind of, I don't know which you're talking about, the first Van Halen record or the first Nirvana record. But same experience. Front to back, I love that record. I love both those records. Still do. They're so cool. But Hoss Thompson said there's only a couple of songs on Nevermind that aren't bangers. Yeah, that's right. Oh, Nirvana. Yeah, me too, Ross. Head has all sorts of levels, Heavy and Linen, and yeah, you're right. It's a really great record. And Butch Vig is a hell of a producer, so he made it sound just like, even if you don't like the songs, the record sounds good. And they cut it right here, Sound City in Van Nuys, right? The old Neve board that Dave Grohl still owns now. You've seen the documentary, right? Have you guys all seen that Sound City documentary? He talks about driving down here from Seattle in like a Volkswagen van or a Ford panel truck or something like that. Have you heard the Red Clay Strays? No, I haven't, Doug. I've heard of them. I think David Cobb is producing them, right? And Dave Cobb's a really good friend of mine. Anything Dave Cobb touches turns to gold, by the way. He's a guy that took country back to Nashville. He was living here in Silver Lake, had a beautiful studio. He was right on the lake on Silver Lake. Gorgeous house, beautiful place. And he kept getting country artists coming here to record at his studio because they couldn't make real country records in Nashville. It was too corporate. We got to get a radio hit out of this. And anyway, the last band to turn my head was Blackberry Smoke, yeah. And the Marvelous Three, yeah, that's right. Those are great bands. I would turn me on to the Red Clay Strays, man. I'll check it out. Duke says Sparks have been releasing amazing music. That's right. Their best consistently since 2002. Yeah, that's right. Great band. Excellent band. Yeah, you're absolutely right. What am I playing through? Oh, Bill, you're new. This is a 65 Empire. It's brand new, actually. It's just kind of old stock. And Mike and I modified it last night, and it's for sale. Mike and I are raising money to build prototypes. So if you guys want to buy an amp, you will be contributing to an awesome cause. Lars says, everyone picks up ideas and techniques from people who have inspired. That's right. We're all derivative to some extent. Some more than others. Some are just copies. Some are very clearly influenced by other people. Some people are just sort of inspired. Let's get that sound right. Let's go to channel 1. What kind of mods? So we did 2 things to it right now, and I'll confess, they're inspired by Jose Arredondo. We got rid of some treble on channel 3, so it's a lot more usable for rhythm stuff now. And then we added a cap in a strategic place that allows pretty much full frequency to come through. So what it's doing, instead of just adding gain, like I just gain up the tubes, but then you lose vocabulary, my favorite word. You lose vocabulary when you do that. So you lose that dynamic range. Like I can go to channel 3, the dirtiest channel, right? See the blue light on, that's channel 3. And I can play That was in 2nd position, by the way. This is the humbucker. I need to listen to the playback on this. Sounds like there might be just a hair too much bass in there, so I can definitely shade that back. Yeah, I told you once and I told you twice. Dr. Pepper is really nice, sings Hoss Thompson. Yeah, that's on my short list of songs since I was a kid, right? I didn't hook up a foot switch. This would all be a lot easier with a foot switch, but... Well, I told you once and I told you twice. But you never listen. Oh, my phone's ringing. I hope that's not coming through. Scam likely, you motherfuckers. Anyway, do you guys know Last Time by the Rolling Stones? There's one way to play it right, too. I'll show you. Everybody plays it like... Which sounds fine. Sounds really good. That's not the way... If you watch the video, he's going... I think it's Brian playing it. So yeah, Doug, channel 3 is much improved. And then the whole amp now has sort of a full range frequency response to it. So back to what I was saying, instead of just gaining up the tubes, which is easy, yeah, you can just change a resistor and all of a sudden, I don't know if you guys know how gain works on tubes, but it's the differential between the plate and the cathode of the tube, right? So the greater that differential, the more gain it has. I love that your fingers wouldn't let you play it wrong the first time through. Ha ha. Yeah, that's right. I don't want to get in trouble with the guitar gods. I mean, you got to respect the Stones, man. Like Beatles stuff. There's no room to like. Arna's giving us a peace sign. Are you taking off, Arna? Love you, buddy. Thanks for coming by. So certain songs, like, you should play them correctly. You know, like, they've earned it. But anyway, the hell was I talking about? I lost my train of thought. What was I talking about? Oh, my God. Oh, Channel 3. So, yeah, we've got one more mod I might want to do to it, but I think it's pretty much ready to go. I do want to roll out. Keith is sanctified by this point. Yeah, that's right. I can throw this thing in Open G and show you what's up. You're not cheap on the bass, Dan. Clearly an idea to turn it down. Yeah, I like fat sounding guitars. I've been told that before. Um, it's okay. The friend's daughter band open for the Stones. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, I hear you, Lars. This amp in particular kind of was already on the edge of having too much bass. So I'm going to roll it back just a hair. But anyway, we would really like to sell this amp to you to finance building prototypes of new stuff, also so that we can bring some of this stuff back, right? I'm just not going to borrow any more money. I'm too old. Big bottom. That's right. Talk about bum cakes. My girl's got them. She doesn't, actually. But, so anyway, yeah, this will help us out. If you guys want to help, we'd sure appreciate it. I can't, like I said, I can't talk about prices on here because the algorithm on Facebook and YouTube figure out that, oh yeah, let's see, I'm on my profile on Facebook and the 65 amps page. And then on YouTube, I'm on my page and the 65 amps page. So I'm kind of going to start sending everybody over to YouTube. I think the picture comes through better, less interruption. But I'll leave it up on all the platforms. Instagram is not there. I need to get that going. But anyway, that's rock and roll noise right there. Told you once and I told you twice. I should get going, fellas. It's been an hour and 20 minutes. I love it that you guys stick around this long. It's really flattering, to be honest. Especially since I haven't done this for years. And I'm starting to get, I noticed people start showing up today. We had a lot more people on. Looking forward to more. I would also love to get input and suggestions from you guys. I know the online world has changed a lot since I used to do this. So if there's something you think I should be doing, let me know. Something you think that would help our cause, let me know. And if there's an amp you're looking for of ours, you guessed it, let me know. How much for the head? But is it how many watts? And I heard the mods, but just curious the price tag. So Bill, message me privately. If I mention that here on the show, the algorithm picks up that I'm selling something and wants to charge tax. So just message me. It's a good price. I think you should do the show whilst day drinking. I like that idea. The problem is, Hoss, as you'll hopefully find out in person, when I start drinking, my internal editor shuts off. And I have a very rude, vulgar sense of humor, which does not translate well on the internet because there's a lot of people that are offended by such words. And I'm not offended by such words. But yeah, I know. I think you and I are brothers from another mother. We're probably cousins. So it probably makes sense. But yes, Lars, only on private messaging. Well, I like I say, I don't want the algorithm to get onto me and want to charge tax. Doug Roberts says, it's always fun to hear you. Oh, thanks, man. I got a million of them. Have a great day. You too, buddy. Thank you for dropping by. Paul Ovenstad says, I got to go. Good seeing you again, just like old time. Oh, thanks, man. Thanks for coming back. I'll be back next week. Reverend Randy Krath says, that's an effing shame. Yeah, I'm just keenly aware. It's just kind of weird. But I'm not going to say that, Bob. I'm half Irish. Yeah, I'm just keenly aware that people are offended by such words. I am not at all. I'm offended when people use them incorrectly. People say those words because they do, right? So, you don't F, S. You don't S, F. It's okay. I know a lot of you guys aren't offended, but people watch the replay of this. I have older relatives. I have daughters. Man, Duke, I hope you're feeling better, man.
I can tell you a tip. My cousin's wife, who's on here, Andy, his wife is a nurse. And when I had COVID, she told me, I probably shouldn't be saying this on the internet. I look forward to your letters. But she told me take 8 Tylenol and 8 Advil 3 times a day. And it knocked the COVID down. She said you can do that for a short period. You can do that for like 3 or 4 days before it starts to add up. I'm not going to say her name because I don't want her to be liable for this. And I certainly don't want to be liable for this. But it worked for me. I mean, I was on the pizza and pancakes diet, which means that's all that would slide under the door. My children and my wife were terrified to get near me when I had COVID. It's been a while, though. It was 2021, I think, when I had it. Maybe 2022. Your mileage may vary. Yeah, that's right. So anyway, thanks for dropping by. Here's a modified 65 Empire just waiting for a new home. I'm going to tuck just a little bit of bass out of it. Duke says, I'm on the tail end of it. Had it for 10 days. Oh, good. So you're almost out of the woods then. Okay, good. Good. So you just need lots of fruit juice and rest. Lots of vitamins and fresh fruit and a ton of rest. Sleep 12, 14 hours a day. That's the way to do it. I got the hiccups. Sorry. Anyway, people are starting to drop off. We're almost coming up on 90 minutes. Anyway, guys, send me a message. I'll tell you. I see messages coming in already. As soon as I end the show, I will jump. Peace out, hombre. Have a great day and positively splendid week. You too, sir. Nice to see you. We'll talk soon. Anyway, your amps are brilliantly designed. Oh, thank you, Raphael. Raphael Bonilla. That's really nice. Thank you. We put a lot of love into it. We care about them. They're not just a product. I hope it shows. I find all of these amps, not to sound immodest, I find them all really fun. That's our mission when we're designing something is this thing fun? I'm going to go ahead and turn this off. But turn my aux box off as well. Yeah. So I try to have fun. The Ventura should hit the door tomorrow. Oh, that's a day late. I had it scheduled to show up today. Well, is the tracking okay? You're sure it's going to come tomorrow? Scheisse. Yeah, and then you and I need to do that other thing today if we can. That would be very helpful. Stay safe. You too, Lars. Nice to see you. Thanks for coming by. We had good Norwegian contingency here. Always love to see my Norwegian brothers. My visits over there were just spectacular. I enjoy a lot with both Londons. All right, Pro and Standard and Little Elvis are so fun. Tracking shows tomorrow. Denise is not home yet. Okay, cool. Randy, we'll sort it out. Well, that's a bummer. I paid for it to arrive there on Thursday because I knew Friday was a hard stop for you. UPS, baby. I know there's a lot of craziness going on with airlines and weather and stuff. So hopefully it better show up. I know you're leaving Saturday, right? So we can't do that. Anyway. All right, guys. I'm going to go ahead and bug out. Such a pleasure to interact with you. Cheers, West Coast. That's right. We'll get it taken care of. Yeah, of course. I know. All good. All good. All right. I love you, fellas. I mean that. And I look forward to seeing you next week. I don't know what amp I'm going to have. I might bring the whiskey back again, or I might, when we finish the mod on this, I may play it again if no one's bought it. I'm just going to pull a little bit of bass out of it. Not much. It's getting a little bit on the bottom in my headphones. I don't know if you're hearing that too. If you reboot, are you planning on making custom options available again? Just standard production model and at the buzzer? Hi, Brandon. We're not sure. I don't want to open up another factory. So if we start making stuff, I'm going to use contract manufacturing. It does still allow us the freedom to do custom stuff. It's not that hard to do. So I think what we're going to do Oh, Raymond, hey. When I got my first solo, it was like being reintroduced to my 82 G&L. Ah, so accurate to the sound of the guitar. Thank you. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, guitars all sound good. I want to have them come through, but the amps for guys that suck, they cover up your guitar so that you can make mistakes and it's not as obvious, which is fine. A lot of people love that and it's totally cool. I prefer a stick shift over an automatic transmission as well. So I like rack and pinion steering better than power steering. It's all personal preference. It's all personal preference. There's no right or wrong. And I don't mean to sound like a snob dictating anything. If I do, I apologize. That is not my intention. I swear. Anyway, I will see you guys. Yeah, I was going to pull a little bit of bass out of this. I don't think it needs any more gain. I think the gain is just right. And this is a low output guitar. So you run like a Paul Reed Smith or an Ibanez or something like that. It's going to get dirty. Like nice and dirty. But anyway, once again, I love you fellas. I'll see you next week, either with this amp finished, if it hasn't sold, or whiskey. We have some other stuff I can bring on. I just don't know it's ready. And again, we're raising money with this to build prototypes, so I don't have to borrow money ever again. Your help would be most appreciated. All right. Love you fellas. Take care now.